Welcome back. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, shout out to the 19. So, got an interesting one for you. This is a player we've talked about a lot in terms of the Indiana Fever, since she is going to be a free agent, although the Dallas Wings can core her. But we have a bombshell here for you. As you can see, Satou Sabally says she is done with the Dallas Wings in WNBA Stunner. That's right. She has actually come out and said, I'm working with the Wings organization to find a next home for me because I've already played my last game in Dallas. Yeah. So, first of all, the competitive, sometimes vindictive former athlete slash coach in me says, you know what? If I'm Dallas, now I know they can't realistically do this. I'm just saying, all right, little sarcasm. I'm like, you know what? We're coring you Setu, and we are gonna put you on the end of the bench for the entire next season. Now, why am I saying that? Because you don't put this out there as a player. You have just ruined terms of any leverage in getting some sort of close to equal value in a trade back. Okay, you talked to Dallas behind the scenes. You said, I'm not happy. I don't want to play here. You let them for you. And then they put out feelers letting people know that they're open to trading. The Dallas Wings are open to trading Satou Sabally, and then maybe they get something for you. But now everyone knows she has said she will not play in Dallas again. Dallas has no leverage in terms of trading, which is, to me, not so good. And she says here, I'm just excited. I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players outside the league because I have not played on a different team yet. And I'm excited to get to know them more on a personal level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high level basketball IQ conversations about the game. I know here I fit best to I don't think that's written correctly. To I know here I fit best in the future. Not sure what that means, but she was actually the number two pick in the 2020 draft. So now the Wings, of course, will be looking to a sign and trade. And that's something I talked about in a previous video about free agency. For the Indiana Fever, we've talked about her ending up there. Of course, the New York Liberty is an option with her sister being there. But now, for sure, someone is going to have to come up with some sort of trade value. The hope for Dallas now, with Satou putting this out there, is that there are multiple teams who absolutely want her services. And so now Dallas doesn't have leverage, but those teams competing with each other to put together a better trade package to offer Dallas will up the ante a little bit. The Fever are one to do it. The Fever could core. I've talked about this before. They could core Kelsey Mitchell. If Kelsey does not, Kelsey may have put that to the Fever but kept it behind the scenes. We don't know. She may not want to go back to Indiana. I know a lot of people think that's crazy. Why wouldn't she? But she may not want to. We don't know. So if she does not, then maybe Indiana cores her, Dallas cores Satou, and they trade. And then that is how it works out. That's how the Indiana Fever gets Satou Sabally. I definitely feel that the Dallas Wings are going to, they will core her and then they will trade her. I hope for them, if I'm looking at it from a Dallas Wings perspective, that multiple teams really want to get Sabally and her services, and they then are going to have to compete, which is going to give Dallas a little more leverage than they would otherwise have. Now, let's not forget, one of the issues with Sabally, and it's not talked about that much, is she's always injured. But we can look back. Here's her career in games played: 16, 17, 11, 38, 15. Now in 2023, when she played that 38, she was fifth in MVP voting, WNBA first team and an all-star. So we all know the talent is there. She's only 5 years in. She's 26. She's hitting her prime. She is a young player, but it's not like she doesn't have a history of injuries as well. So anyone who gets her is taking a little bit of a chance on her going forward. But I wanted to put this out there. Look, there are other options that can happen. The Fever could offer. It could be draft picks. It could be a package of players. But again, they could be competing with the New York Liberty as well. That is where her sister is right now. So we don't know. And if Mitchell wants to stay in Indiana, then that means Indiana has to come up with something else. And of course, one of the ones we've talked about a lot is NaLyssa Smith. Now, this, I think, is the most interesting one because I feel it is more of a straight up positional swap in terms of where they would play. For example, the Fever, you look at their starting lineup: Clark, Mitchell, Hull, Boston, Smith. Four of those five would be the same. If Sabally was here, she would be replacing Smith in the starting lineup. Now, she does different things than Smith because she can shoot the three. We know that as well. She was a good free three-point shooter in 2024, which is actually interesting. She shot 45% from three, but she's actually only 33% career three-point shooter in the pros. So hopefully that stays, but the point is she is someone that will stretch a defense a little more in the half-court offense than NaLyssa Smith. So the Fever, I don't know behind the scenes, obviously, but we've talked about a lot of the reasons why the Fever would want to trade NaLyssa Smith. And as for those who don't know, I didn't do a video on that, but she was released in China. Now I believe she might have asked to be released. So I don't know if I don't think it was a performance thing, but I don't know all the details behind that. But if the Fever have decided with everything that went on this past year that parting ways with NaLyssa Smith is the best thing for the team and Kelsey Mitchell's going to come back, then that is potentially a trade because you have with the number 2 pick in 2020 for the number 3 pick in 2021. And again, NaLyssa Smith, people forget, especially since there weren't really many eyes on the Indiana Fever before this year. As much as I've been critical of her play and her mental approach and the sulking and her relationship that has hurt her team, NaLyssa Smith is a talent on the court. Again, her 2023 season, she put up better numbers than Aaliyah Boston did this year when she made the All-Star team. And that's not a knock on Boston. I'm just trying to get people to understand that NaLyssa Smith is a talented player if she gets her head on right, which I think, if I were going to be her therapist for a minute, getting her head on right would mean getting out of that relationship she's in. However, we don't know that's going to happen, but maybe in Dallas that reignites things for her because we don't have the hoopla surrounding Caitlin Clark and all of that. So that could be, and if, like I said before about leverage, that may have been a problem for the Fever in trading NaLyssa Smith because the whole league knows what happened there, so they don't want to offer a lot. So now we make it simple. NaLyssa Smith to Dallas, Satou Sabally to Indiana. The Fever have their starting lineup. They get Asia Sivka in the draft, and we move forward. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. I thought this was really interesting that she came out and said that. So now we know for sure she is not going to be playing in Dallas. We will see what happens going forward. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the potential of her going to Indiana, what Indiana might give up. Do you think because of her sister she's going to New York? One thing I also said to someone, and this isn't specific to her, this is an in general thing. A lot of people say, oh, siblings, they think it would be cool to play together in the pros. Some do. I also think there are a lot who think that is actually a bad dynamic and they would not want to play together with their sibling. It's sort of like playing together with someone you're in a relationship with. And I think it can be a lot more fun to play against a sibling, actually. So, hey, let me know about that too. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.